everyone and welcome to your Monday Maths. It's the 1st of the 2nd, 2021 and today we are going to be beginning our new topic on time, and specifically in today's lesson we are going to be learning the numbers of hours in one day. Okay, so this week we're going to be focusing on our 4 times tables. We've already learned our 2s, 3s, 5s and 10s. So now it's time to learn the 4 times table. Now I have posted a little video link at the bottom of this slide. So what I would like you to do is I would like you to head on over to that YouTube link and watch the video of the 4 times tables. And then when you come back, you can have a look at working out the answers to the questions that you can see on the screen, okay? But I know that you could probably already answer them now, because if you think about it, we know that multiplication is commutative. So 4 times 5 is the same as 5 times 4. And we already know our 5 times tables, so that should be pretty easy for you to work out. Moving on, we've got our 4 times 10. You know, you can swap those numbers around to work out the answer, and also our 4 times 2. And again, we can swap those numbers around because multiplication is commutative. Okay, so now's your opportunity, children, to go over to the YouTube link and learn your 4 times tables. Off you go. Okay, so here is our big picture today. What I would like you to do is I would like you to take a look at the big picture, and I would like you to look at which things can be measured. Now, this is obviously an Olympic stadium or some Olympic games, okay? So in this picture, my example that I'm going to choose to use is I'm going to look at this person over here, okay? And I can see that this person is participating in long jump. So I know that whoever jumps the furthest in long jump will be the winner, okay? So I know that this can be measured because the distance between the white line where the person jumps from and to where they've jumped can be measured, okay? So that's one example. Another example that you might want to look at is the people in the running race. What is being measured there? Okay, so you might want to pause the video now and either have a little discussion or think about all the things that you can see in the big picture that can be measured. Off you go. Okay, it's now time for the subtising part of our lesson. So remember, eyes on the screen, and we need you to work really quickly to identify how many dots or shapes you can see in the pictures. Let's go. First of all, we're going to look for how many pink dots we can see. Excellent work, everybody. Now let's move on to our next one. How many red dots can you see? Excellent work, well done. How many red dots again? Keep those eyes on the screen. Brilliant job. And finally, this one's a bit tricky. Let's see how many blue shapes you can see hiding in the picture. Excellent, well done. Okay, time to review. So in the first picture, we were looking for those pink dots. Well done if you said 2. In the second picture, we were looking for the red dots. Well done if you said 1. In the third picture, again, we were looking for those red dots. And we can see that there are 2. So well done if you managed to spot that there were 2. And finally, we were looking for the blue shapes. And although we can't see them all because my face is in the way, we know that there were 4 blue shapes. Well done if you managed to get all or some of those correct. Keep working hard to practice your subtising skills because it will help you to recognise numbers or patterns very quickly. Okay, key vocabulary. So this time we've got lots of new vocabulary that we're going to be using throughout today's lesson because this is our new topic. So let's have a go at my turn, your turn. Time, day, morning, hour, night, afternoon, evening, midday, midnight. Super job, everybody. Remember, throughout today's explanations, you should be using all of this key vocabulary. Okay, time for our new learning. I'm going to show you 4 pictures on the screen now, and I would like you to pause the video when you've seen them all and try to identify when the pictures have been taken. There's your first, second, third, and 4th picture. So you may pause the video and think about using some of that key vocabulary to describe when some of these photographs might have been taken. Off you go. Excellent. So well done if you've described when you think that these pictures may have been taken. Now, I'm going to have a little bit of a discussion about when I think these photographs have been taken. See if any of your answers matched mine. So the first one over here, I would say that this one was taken during the night. So I'm going to say it was taken at midnight. And I know that because this is very, very dark and there are hardly any lights on at all. Okay, so that must mean that people are sleeping. Let's go to picture number 2. There we go. Now, in this one, I would say that it is probably evening. Okay, and I know it's evening because I know that the sun is still up there, but it is getting dark. You can see that it's visibly getting dark in that picture. And I can see that there are some street lights on as well. So I know that this is the evening. Okay, picture number 3. This one, I don't know about you, but I thought this one looked very, very crisp, okay? And it's got all of that mist hanging around in the air, and it looks like the sunlight is just peering up and beginning to make its way up for the day. So I would say that picture number 3 was taken in the very early morning, okay? Because it's very crisp and clear and it looks like a morning picture. And number 4, I would say this picture was probably taken in the afternoon because it looks like the sun is high in the sky and it looks like it's very, very bright, and there are no street lights around and it doesn't look dark in the picture. Okay, so hopefully you had some of the same ideas as me. Okay, let's think about some questions now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the questions on the screen, and then you may pause the video and have a little think about the questions or a little discussion about each one, and then you can unpause me and I will have a chat with you about them as well. So the first question is, what do you know about one day? How do we spend the 24 hours of a day? When does a new day begin? And do we do the same things every single day? Okay, so you may pause the video, have a little think or a discussion now, and then unpause me for another, for my version of the answers. Okay, off you go. Okay, so what do we know about one day? Well, I know that in one day there are 24 hours. Okay, so that's one thing that I know about one full day. Well done if you said the same as me. How do we spend the 24 hours of a day? Well, we spend the 24 hours of the day through daytime and nighttime. And what we do is we split those 24 hours in half, because we spend half of our day in daytime and half of our day at nighttime. So we have 12 hours of daytime and 12 hours of nighttime, which makes up our full 24 hours of the day. Now, next question, when does a new day begin? This one is quite a tricky one because some of you may have said that a new day begins when you wake up. However, that is not strictly true. because what happens is when our clock goes on to 12 midnight, it changes from the PM to the AM, which means that it turns into a new day, okay? So when the clock changes from PM to AM, that's when a new day begins. Now, the final question is, do we do the same things every day? Now, what we do is we don't do the same thing every single day, do we? And that's where I got a bit confused with this question, and I started to think more carefully about it, because most of the days are different. We do different things each day. Like some days we might have science at school, and other days we might have PE at school. So each day is different. But I was thinking about this, maybe some of you notice this too. Each day we do certain things that are the same. For example, we brush our teeth, we get up, we get dressed, we go to bed at a certain time. So some things do stay the same, okay? But other things change. So we don't do the same things every single day, but we do some things the same each day. And even the some things that we do might include doing things at the same time, because that's part of our routine. So for example, we might each day have lunch at 12 o'clock, okay? Okay, so let's have a look at this little picture here, because in this picture you will see that we'll be able to easily identify the hours that are daytime and the hours that are nighttime. So here is our little picture. You might want to pause the video and have a deeper look at the times that show the nighttime and the times that show the daytime. So for example, morning is part of our daytime and noon is part of our daytime. Let's see if you can identify any other times that might be included in those. Okay, so for your talk task today, what I would like you to do is I would like you to draw pictures of all the things in the list. So I'd like you to draw a picture of yourself waking up, eating lunch, going to bed, sleeping, eating breakfast, and at school or work, okay? Now today's talk task is a little bit different because it does require you to do a little bit more than you usually would. So rather than having a discussion today, we're going to be putting it down onto paper, okay? So again, I want you to draw each of those things in the list. And then before you draw them, I'd like you to put them in order. So for example, you wouldn't put sleeping first or going to bed first. That will be something that you do last in your day. So I want you to think about the order of your day and the order of when things come. Okay, so waking up would be one of the first things that you do every single day. Okay, and then what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to draw the picture and then suggest a suitable time that you do those things. So for example, I put on there that at 12 o'clock or noon, I have my lunch, and I would draw a nice little picture of myself having my lunch and then write the time that I think is acceptable next to it, okay? So if you've got the worksheet, you'll be able to do that on there. If not, don't worry, you can do it on a spare bit of paper and just get your pencils and pens. They're ready, okay? So you're ordering your day, you're drawing pictures of each of the things listed, and then you're suggesting a reasonable time for each one of those things. Now, I don't mind if you don't want to put the exact time, like 12 o'clock. I don't mind if you just say morning, noon, afternoon, nighttime, that kind of thing, okay? So you may pause the video now and get on with your first task, which is our talk task for today. Okay children, let's develop your learning a little bit further. So one question I've got to you is, what is a clock? I'm now going to show you some different kinds of clocks on the screen. You can get clocks in all different sizes, like for example, Big Ben is a huge, giant, enormous clock. But you can also get them in very, very small sizes as well. Some people have them as wristwatches, just like me, and also you can have them up on the wall. You might be able to even spot one in your classroom. Now, the clocks that I've shown you on the screen are all examples of analog clocks. And analog clocks have one thing in common. They all display numbers on the face, okay? So on the actual face of the clock, they all have numbers. Now, they might be represented differently, but it is still numbers, okay? They have the numbers 1 to 12. So, for example, this clock right here has got the numbers, and you can see them quite clearly as they go round from 1 until 12. And this clock also shows the numbers, but just in a different way. It shows them in Roman numerals. And if you look at this one's different again, and it's just got little markers where the numbers are supposed to go. Okay, so they can look differently, but all of them have one thing in common. They all go from 1 to 12. Okay. And you might notice too that each one of the clocks has got some hands on it too. Now in this clock there are 2 hands, there's a minute hand and an hour hand, but you can also, like in this example, have a second hand too, okay? So lots of analog clocks come in different shapes and sizes, and they're all slightly different from each other. But one thing that they do have in common is they all have numbers 1 to 12 on them, and they all have a minute and an hour hand as well. Okay, now this is another question for you. If there are 24 hours in the day, why doesn't the clock go up to 24? Why does it only go to 12? Maybe you could pause the video and have a little think about that question, or you might want to discuss it now with whoever's around you. Okay, off you go. Well done if you said it's because there are 2 sets of 12 in any one day. Remember, we have 12 hours for our daytime and 12 hours for our nighttime, okay? So what happens to these clocks is they go round once for the daytime, and then they go round again for the afternoon and the evening, okay? So that's why they only go up to 12. It's because they go round twice, one for the AM and one for the PM, okay? Let's think about a day, okay? A day in the life. So let's review. How many hours are in the day? Well done if you said 24. You've been listening very, very carefully. What might you be doing then at 3 o'clock in the morning? Well, at 3 o'clock in the morning, let's think about this one now. The clock, it has been ticking, it's gone round once, it's gone round twice, and it's about to do that thing where it ticks over midnight and it goes into the new day, okay? And at midnight, you're fast asleep. And you don't get up for about another 6 or 7 hours yet, because you wake up at about 6 or 7 o'clock in the morning. So it ticks over past the midnight and it continues to tick all the way until you wake up, and it goes past 3 o'clock in the morning because you should still be doing something, which I'm giving you a clue for now. Well done, you should, and I certainly would, be still sleeping, because 3 o'clock in the morning, we still class it as night time, okay, because we don't get up till about 6 or 7 o'clock, which is a few hours later than 3 o'clock in the morning. Okay, well, what do you think you will be doing at 3 o'clock in the afternoon? Well done if you said that you would usually be at school and you would be getting ready to go home. Or you might have said, if you're home learning, you might have said that at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, you're getting ready to close your laptop or your tablet down and have a nice, well-deserved rest. Okay, let's think about this one. What do you think you would be doing at 7 o'clock in the morning? Well, at 7 o'clock in the morning at my house, I'm usually getting ready to leave for work. okay? And you might be doing the same as me. You might be getting ready by brushing your teeth, you might be putting your clothes on, you might be doing your hair. So it's all those things that we do in the morning to prepare us for our day. What might you be doing at 7 o'clock in the evening then? So usually at around 7 o'clock, you'd be getting ready for bed, putting on your pyjamas, and again, maybe potentially brushing your teeth, ready for bedtime. You might even be having supper at that time, or even lying in bed trying to fall asleep. Okay, what's the same and what's different? Now, this is part of your main activity today, so you may want to do it now so that you can get it out of the way, so you can get it out of the way sooner, okay? So if you've got the worksheet in front of you, you should have these two pictures. If not, please don't worry, because a piece of paper and a pencil or a pen will do, okay? So we've got two pictures here. Now, they are both pictures of London. If you look very closely, you can see London Bridge and the River Thames, okay, and all of those buildings that are in London. Now it looks like they're taken from pretty much the same angle too, and they were both taken at 8 o'clock, okay, so both of these pictures were taken at 8 o'clock. So why then are they so different? In the first picture, it looks very crisp and very clear. There's a little bit of mist in the sky and the sun looks like it's just about rising. And in the second picture, it looks much, much darker, and we can see that the sun is completely gone from the sky, and we can see that there are lots of street lights on as well, okay? So if both pictures were taken at 8 o'clock, why do they look so different? What I would like you to do is I would like you to describe, using our key vocabulary, why we think that they are different, okay? So you might want to go ahead, pause the video and do that now so it's out of the way. Okay, so your main activity today. Now, you will have already completed the chili challenge if you listened to our previous slide, but if not to worry, you can do that now, okay? So please complete the chili challenge where you're looking at those two pictures and you're describing why you think they are so different, even though they were both taken at 8 o'clock, okay? Then what you're going to do is there's a few questions at the top of your worksheet and you're going to answer those. And then underneath where you've got your little boxes and some clocks, so I'll just give you an example. Just like here, for example, where it says midday and it's got a little clock. What you're going to be doing is you're going to be drawing a picture of what you would be doing at midday, okay? So it's a little bit of a fun activity for maths today, and you're going to be doing lots of drawing and lots of thinking about time, okay? So think about what you would be doing at midday, and I know that at midday, at 12 o'clock in the afternoon, I always have my lunch, okay? So I would draw a picture of me having my lunch, okay? So I hope you get on okay with the activity, and as always, if you do have any difficulties at all, please don't hesitate to give me a little message and I'll see if I can help you out. And finally, our plenary. So first of all, let's answer these questions. How many hours are there in one day? Well done if you remembered that there are two sets of 12 hours, one for the AM, one for the PM, and that makes 24 all together. How many full turns does the hour hand make in one day? Okay, so think about that clock. It goes from 1 till 12, and then it starts again and goes from 1 until 12. And that shows us our 24 hours. So how many times did Miss Thompson just demonstrate? Well done if you said 2. The hour hand goes round the clock twice to complete its 24 hours. Okay, everybody, I hope you enjoyed our little taster into this topic for the next few weeks. and I hope that we are going to learn lots and lots about time over the next few lessons. Hopefully you enjoyed that, and I cannot wait to see you tuning in with tomorrow's lesson. Bye bye for now, everyone.